I've got
Yeah.
5.
Hey, friends.
Oops. Hi, everyone.
We're live in living color. Hey, friends. Welcome back to the Proverbial Masterminds. I'm Erin Harrigan, the Hustle with Heart coach. This is my partner, Dr. Sherry. We are here minding the master's wisdom, and Lord knows we could all use the wisdom. We were just calculating that we have 5 episodes left.
Yeah, 5.
What the heckle?
I mean, that's incredible. Yeah, so we'll be wrapping up on Cinco de Mayo.
It's crazy town. Crazy
What
town.
a great day to end it on, right? Like Cinco de Mayo celebration.
I was saying to someone last night, I was on a podcast interview last night, and I can't remember even how we get on the topic, but I was like, there's this meme that shows like a falling apart taco, and it says it's okay to fall. And there was a real sound for this too. And it says it's okay to fall apart sometimes. Tacos fall apart and we still love them.
Right.
That is God. That is God. He knows we're a mess. He knows we're going to fall apart.
Yep.
Like he just knows. And yet he loves us. But that is why we must be tuned into his wisdom. So
that's right.
There we go.
Yeah. So today we're actually, next week, then we will launch into the final chapter of Proverbs. So today we're going to almost the end of 30.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're starting in verse 24.
Yes, 24 through 31. We're actually reading 8 verses this week. For those of you joining in, we did 6 last week, so we're doing 8 this week. Just for contextual purposes, it made sense. They went together. So we're going to be reading, we do typically 1 a day, but this time we have a bonus verse. So for today's episode, we are reading from Proverbs 30, verses 24 through 31. Erin, would you like to read?
Yes, this week I'm going to be reading in the Message version. And they have like little subtitles here. So for verses 24 to 28, this is called 4 Small Wonders. There are 4 small creatures, wisest of the wise they are. Ants, frail as they are, get plenty of food in for the winter. Marmots, vulnerable as they are, manage to arrange for rock-solid homes. Locusts, leaderless insects, yet they strip the field like an army regiment. Lizards, easy enough to catch, but they sneak past vigilant palace guards. I just want to stop there for a second because in the New King James Version, it doesn't say lizards. It says spiders.
Spider. Yeah.
Yeah. Going on to verse 29 through 31. 4 dignitaries. There are 3 solemn dignitaries, 4 that are impressive in their bearing. A lion, king of the beasts, deferring to none. A rooster, proud and strutting. A billy goat, a head of state in stately procession. There you go.
And then a king. Did you say?
Did he give me that one? No, you know what? It stopped at the billy goat. Oh no. Yeah, you're right. Oh, weird. In the Message, it didn't give me the king. Hold, please. In the NIV, a lion, mighty among beasts, who retreats before nothing, a strutting rooster, a he-goat, and a king secure against revolt.
It's interesting. The NKJV has a greyhound.
Instead of it has the lion, right?
It has lion, greyhound, goat, and king.
Yeah. I love greyhounds because to me, I can see that being like, stately and yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. But let us not get caught up in the details of which animal they're talking about and get to the point.
Let us.
Right? Let us. So this is from a guy who's like, I don't know anything, but I want to know, and I believe in the Lord's wisdom. I don't know anything. And so this chapter is really him marveling at the things of at the way of humans, at the way of creation, and at the way of the creator. He's really covered all of those bases, right? And so this one, he's talking about the created, the creatures that have been created does throw some people in there, but so let's just back up. So these four things, which are little, tiny, right, seemingly insignificant, but they are exceedingly wise.
Yeah.
That's what the New King James Version says. So it says the ants, right? Like it says they're not strong. It's interesting in the New King James Version, it says the ants are a people not strong.
That's what it says in the English Standard Version too.
So the ants are a people. They are a group.
They are a group. They're community. Yes.
They are a community and they work together. So they are a people that are not strong physically, but they prepare their food in the summer. So basically, they do all the work that they know that they need to do because they know that they won't be able to find the food in the winter. So they store it up for the winter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're tiny but mighty.
Tiny but mighty. We will have to go back and find that episode where you taught us all about ants. And if you haven't seen the movie Bug's Life, by the way, the ants are they really are very, very smart and wise. Like the way that they make their tunnels and the way, maybe it's not Bug's Life. No, I think it was Bug's Life. No, the one with the very scary grasshopper. Anyway, they are I would count that as wise.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we can look to the seemingly insignificant things. We can, this brings me back to the verse, the passage that says, the heavens, creation declares his glory, right? People are without excuse for not knowing God. If they look around and claim that is not God, then that's an outright refutation of what creation speaks of. So we can look to the created to learn more about the creator. And why would he give the ants such exceeding wisdom?
Right.
Because think about that. If a tiny insignificant ant has that much wisdom, how much do you think he's given us? How much do you think he's poured out on us?
Oh my gosh, right?
So
yeah. Okay, the marmot or the rock badgers.
Or the hyrax.
Or the hyrax. Oh, so many names for these.
I know.
Yeah. This says they are a people not mighty.
Right.
So they're still, they're a creature, right? They're, yet they make their homes in the cliffs.
Yeah, they live in the rocks. So interesting, right? Like they found a place, a rock in a hard place. They found a place, right, to make their home. And what I love about that is that they've made their home in a place that maybe another creature might deem as totally inhospitable and not a home indeed, right?
That's right.
So that we can learn from animals, right? We can learn from creation.
Yes. So good. And then the locust. What's so funny about this with the locust? They have no leader, like they have no king. But in the English Standard Version, in the New King James Version also, it refers to them as like an army regiment. In the English Standard, it says, yet they march in rank. And they will like decimate like an army.
Yeah. Locusts destroy. Yeah.
I just want to say, I don't know if the cicada is part of the locust family, but they are nasty when they come back every 17 years here in Maryland.
Yeah, they are. Have you ever had one hit you between the eyeballs?
No.
Yes, it's terrifying.
When I was in college, when I was in college, I was driving to visit one of my college roommates for dinner, and I had my mom's truck. I'll never forget it. And they're like hitting, like they're hard.
Yes.
And I had the windows rolled down because she had no AC. And one hit, and it was like, it was nasty.
Yeah. People eat them.
Oh, no. No. Not doing it.
All right. So the spider or the lizard skillfully is, you can catch a spider or a lizard, yet they go uncaptured in king's
That's right.
palaces, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They can get in there.
Right. And
Yes.
slither away.
Slither away. When we were in Costa Rica whenever it was, we were sitting, three of us in our Airbnb, and we're like, oh, there's a little gecko. And we're watching him like, and it's like, please don't come in my bedroom.
He probably did. He probably
He probably
crawled
did. He was probably snuggled right next to me. Anyway. Okay. What about the stately things?
So there are three things which are majestic in pace. This is an interesting way of saying that, right? Like majestic in pace. Like when somebody, it's like when somebody walks in a room, majestic in pace, they're commanding an audience, right? They're commanding respect by being looked at. So let's see what is worthy of respect and what is worthy of us to behold. Number one, a lion, mighty among all of the beasts and does not turn away from any. I think of what was that old Michael Douglas movie? It was like Ghost something.
Michael Douglas movie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He was like there was a lion that was attacking villagers. And Michael Douglas was called in to catch the lion. I forget the name of it. But anyway, it was a fearsome giant. He was much younger. It was a fearsome giant of a lion. And the lion didn't turn away from anything. Like that's the confidence of a lion.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then a greyhound, a male goat, and a king whose troops are with him. That last one is interesting to me. A king whose troops are with him. Because it reminds me of like a schoolyard bully who like struts, and then like he like looks around and realizes nobody's with him. Right. So what
and then he's like, oh.
And then he's like, oh, I'm not so bad after all. Yeah. Well, and so this is interesting to me because the lion, the greyhound, the male goat, like they're just large and in charge because that's who they are. But it says the king whose troops are with him. That's a king who is almost relying on somebody outside of himself and other people to make him confident, right? But God designed the lion a certain way. He designed the greyhound, designed the male goat to strut about. He did not design us to be strong and mighty on our own, right? He designed us to remind us to rely on him, not on the people around us, but on him.
Yeah. And in the there's a comment here in the ESV, and I think it was in one of the NIV as well. For verse 31, it says, so here it says the strutting rooster, and in the NKJV it says greyhound. So this says the magpie or the greyhound. The Hebrew is girt of loins. So I think of a magpie. Isn't that a bird?
I don't know. I thought so.
I guess I could see like it's strutting along the telephone cable. To me, the greyhound is sort of much like the lion exudes confidence to me. The greyhound is just very sleek, and I don't know. It's just interesting his choice of animals.
Yeah.
And how and to me, this reveals, as he says earlier in the proverb in this chapter that, I don't know anything and show me. And yet what you were saying earlier, right? Like no one can deny.
Yeah.
Because creation itself speaks of the existence of God. It is our evidence.
Yep.
And this encourages me to look more carefully at creation. Every summer, I don't know if I was telling you this. I was saying it to someone. Every summer, these spiders build a web. right next to my front door. Like if this were this is where the web is, and here's my front door. And they're huge. And I'm always thinking I'm going to walk out and I'm going to be like with the spider web and the spider crawling in my hair or something. And my husband always says, no, like, you don't bother the spider. The spider has a job. The spider takes care of the bugs. When we lived in Arizona, was I saying this last week? We had a tarantula. It was not our tarantula, but it lived under the swing set in our backyard. And the exterminator would come because we're exterminating for scorpions and whatever. And he's like, oh, no, I don't spray over here because the tarantula will take care of everything. If you don't bother her, she won't bother you. But I'm not.
Thank you.
It bothered me. Exactly.
Not bothering her bothered you.
No, but again, all of the different, there is such, the circle of life. It does make me wonder, like, what exactly was God thinking about mosquitoes?
I know.
Like, what is that
purpose in that?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway.
Well, I also remember that all animals and creation and creatures were meant to live in harmony with one another.
Chapter 30.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we live in a fallen world, and that means we are annoyed by things, and things kill us. Right.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Things irritate us, like mosquitoes.
Yes. Darn mosquitoes. Anyway.
But maybe in in the new heaven, we will walk with not Mr. Bluebird on our shoulder, but Mr. Mosquito.
Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder.
And we won't want to swat him.
Maybe. I don't know. Again, these are the things that I'm like, I have a really long list. And I have a feeling, I picture that we get to heaven and they're like, welcome. Before your orientation, here are the frequently asked questions. And then you'll ask a question, they'll be like, see question 10.
Right.
See question 10. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to know yet, but I feel like that's what they're going to do. Anyway, okay, friends, that's what we got.
That's what we got. So we'll see you here next Friday. We're going to be reading. We're going to finish up Proverbs 30 verses 32 and 33. And then we will go into the first 5 verses of chapter 31.
Yes, and yes. So we'll see you next Friday, friends. Make sure you share, follow, all the things. I know there's only 5 episodes left, but you want to go back and watch all of our antics.
Yeah.
From all of the episodes.